Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we have a lot to talk about. But first, I hope that you're all having a beautiful day or a beautiful night wherever you guys are out there in the world. Going back to 2023, we saw stablecoins really become a hot topic, and they continue to become a big deal. Now, what's funny about this is that this is a sponsored post, but it's sponsored by WorldPay. So if you guys actually don't know, WorldPay is a company under the belt of FIS, and FIS is moving trillions of dollars per year. Now, we do know back in 2022, stablecoins saw about roughly $11 trillion in terms of volume and value settled, which is very significant. And even now today, and I don't know why this is not closing out, I do apologize. But even today, stablecoins become and have been becoming a much bigger topic and discussion piece, especially from the traditional financial world, even around cross-border payments and cross-border payment initiatives, remittances, etc. So, as we look at this, let's go over here to this recent report from April 24th, which is the number of stablecoin holders nears 100 million mark. Data shows with a 15% rise already this year. Now, if we actually go over here to rwa.xyz, we can see the growth here. And again, dominating this is Tether still at about roughly $114 billion worth. Circle coming in at about roughly $30 billion. But regardless, we could actually see the percentage of the M2 money supply. It's almost 1%, 0.75% of the M2 money supply, which is something that I think everyone should pay attention to, because it goes to show you just how significant the stablecoin market is becoming. But we can actually see the growth back here. I mean, at the highest point, there's roughly about 177, almost 177.3 billion dollars worth of the market cap for stablecoins. Right now, it's sitting at about roughly 156.5 billion. And we could actually see the monthly active addresses, monthly transfer volume as well. This is a very significant market, and it is only going to continue to grow and grow and grow, especially year over year, cycle over cycle. This thing has been on fire. But the thing that I really want to mention around this is, yes, we will start to see dominance usurped from Tether, just like Bitcoin. I've talked about this on multiple occasions. Now, the upcoming Ripple stablecoin, everyone is anticipating it, because I do think that it is going to be bigger than most of these other stablecoin initiatives. Now, is it going to be bigger than Tether? I don't know. Maybe not in the short term, but I do think that in the long term, it definitely will. And the reason why I say that is because of the name that Ripple actually is, and the names that Ripple will be working with in terms of the volume and the value coming in. So I do think that Tether will be usurped, and I also think that it will be flipped by another name. Is it going to be Circle? Is it going to be Ripple? We don't know yet. We really don't know. But I will say over here, for everyone out there that has been questioning if XRP will be utilized even with the stablecoin, because a lot of people have been saying, like, is Ripple replacing XRP? Black Swan Capitalist even talked a little bit about this. He said, confused about the Ripple stablecoin. It's a bridge connecting traditional finance to the future of finance, designed for institutional use on the XRP ledger. FYI, it doesn't replace XRP. Instead, it works alongside it to serve different purposes within the banking system. So yeah, I mean, listen, there's been a lot of narratives floating around how XRP is getting replaced, how XRP is this, XRP is that, and it's just ridiculous. Over here we have from Marcus Infiger, which, if you guys don't know, Marcus Infiger is the SVP of Ripple X. He's also a board member. This is an individual that comes from a substantial background, right? We could actually see his background. And it's a very, very high level traditional finance background. And yeah, you have UBS, you have Goldman Sachs, corporate banks here as well. You have Credit Suisse, ANZ as well, and even a board member of the Futureverse, which is pretty significant. But 5 years, 5 months at Ripple X Dev, but also senior director at Ripple, head of global institutional markets. So again, very significant individual around Ripple and even around the traditional financial space. And we have from him on the Ripple stablecoin, big shout out to XRP Drops for this. It's important to have a settlement asset for tokenized money market funds or equities or other financial products, and the US dollar stablecoin is obviously a key piece. We plan to leverage the Ripple stablecoin alongside XRP in cross-border payments, so we're able to scale that globally to provide certain opportunity optionality. Ripple is a compliance-first blockchain enterprise solution provider to close the gap between traditional finance and crypto. We expect the stablecoin market to grow to 2.8 trillion in 2030, which is a 20x growth. The need for a stablecoin to really act as a portal from bringing more financial activity on-chain is super critical. And check it out.
So what else is Ripple and XRP Ledger doing?
And by the way, I do apologize if YouTube mutes this. I know that they've been muting a lot of videos recently. It's something that I can't control. I do apologize, but hopefully they don't mute it.
To inspire more utility. I know that the recent announcement for the stablecoin is pretty big. So can we talk a little bit more about that?
Let's talk about that. So look, we believe that the stablecoin market that's at the moment like 150 billion has seen a lot of growth, but has way more growth ahead. I think there's some estimates that expect this market to grow to 2.8 trillion or something 5 years from now. So that's a 20x from where it is today. So there's a clear demand for a stablecoin with a compliance-first blockchain enterprise solution provider like Ripple has been around payments to close the gap between traditional finance and crypto. And so that's why we're super excited to take that on. It's been also one of the most cited feedback in terms of what developers want that build on the XRP Ledger. Again, there's more than 1,000 projects building, and the need for a stablecoin to really act as a portal from bringing more financial activity on-chain is super critical.
Okay, so currently the most stablecoin usage I think is in like developing countries. We have like Latin America and Africa, just because to counteract the local currency and inflation rates, right? So what's specific to your stablecoin that can be applicable to global audiences?
Yeah, so I would say two use case categories that we're most excited about. First of all, we plan to leverage the Ripple stablecoin alongside XRP in cross-border payments in our existing real-world cross-border payment product alongside XRP, so we're able to scale that globally significantly going forward and provide certain optionality. And then separately, as we're seeing more real-world assets, TradFi companies wanting to engage with us and other projects around like bringing real-world assets on the XRP Ledger, it's important to have a settlement asset for these, like tokenized money market funds or equities and other financial products. And the US dollar stablecoin is obviously a key piece in terms of, helping to enable economic activity to emerge.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. So the stablecoin is USD backed. All right.
There you guys have it. And again, as we really look at the stablecoin, whether it is USDT, whether it is USDC, every single one of these stablecoins, the thing to focus on is the fact that it's not like XRP. We're not looking at this as like, oh, yeah, a stablecoin can do exactly what XRP can do. It's not the case. I feel as though everyone is looking at this and they're like, oh, well, XRP's replaced, right? It couldn't be anything further from the truth. As we look at what these stablecoins act as, it's almost like, it's just like they say down here, it's like a portal from bringing more financial activity on chain. And it really is, right? Stablecoins have so far been a connector almost. It's not like a bridge, but it's almost like a welcome mat, if you will, for these institutional players and also just, financial activity itself. But stablecoins, they're going to be huge for this space. But outside of that, XRP, the more things of value like stablecoins that you have and CBDCs and tokenized things of value, you still rely on the XRP vision of becoming a bridge asset, a neutral bridge currency. And that is a big deal, right? So it enforces the idea of the XRP use case originally in a much bigger way. It's only going to be a much bigger project. So outside of that, let's actually look at a few other things that got posted by Marcus. And over here we have 2 months ago, exciting times for DeFi as it reaches an impressive milestone with $60 billion in token value. The convergence with traditional financial institutions signals a new era of utility and innovation. However, the path forward requires embracing regulatory oversight for broader adoption and integration. Discover how regulatory clarity and technologies like zero-knowledge proofs and the tokenization of real-world assets can drive the future of finance in my latest piece with blockchain, or with Blockworks, sorry. And remember, this is DeFi needs institutions and regulation. This is from Marcus Infinger from Ripple. And during this entire breakdown, when we read this, right, the idea is we still need regulations, and until we have regulations, we're not going to see that mass adoption. We're not going to see massive amounts of money pouring in, but that's what should get everyone excited, right? Like we should be realizing the fact that, yeah, as we do start to see more and more adoption and more insights coming from the regulator side, we're going to start to see a bigger picture being printed for us. And that bigger picture is going to be the fact that now, instead of billions, no, we have trillions. And instead of, oh, maybe XRP will be valuable, no, we will see the real value, because utility will matter at that time. That's why we are so, adamant about, being early and focusing on the big picture here. And the big picture is that, yes, utility does matter. Yes, utility will be a big deal. But until we have those regulations in place, right now, utility, to most people, it just doesn't matter. But to those that actually see the value here, we will reap the rewards. We really will. Now, also over here, we have from Marcus, I've spent the week at Paris Blockchain Week, and what a week it's been. Incredible energy throughout the conference, and the Ripple team has been having lots of really productive conversations with visitors to the XRP Ledger stand. It's been also great to join a DeFi panel earlier today. My main takeaways: we are at the start of a paradigm shift. Blockchain tech is going from hype to real utility as traditional financial firms move beyond pilots into production and distribution using public chains like the XRP Ledger. If our industry wants to realize the promises of blockchain and crypto technology to solve real world problems, then it's imperative we work with the existing financial system. This is what Ripple has been doing from day one. Being no doubt, the momentum is real. So yeah, we are at that paradigm shift. Like, this is from a Ripple employee literally telling you, like, hey, the paradigm shift is here. We now see all of these big moves happening. We see these big players that want to work with us. We know we are in discussions with them. And in fact, even if we go over here, we can see our meetings with traditional financial institutions around tokenization, this is 4 days ago, by the way, have become much more tangible. They want to move into production and are now coming to Ripple with real use cases teed up. They're already planned out. They're already in that stage where these institutions are there working with them and saying, hey, guess what? We already have these use cases. Now we want to tap into the production and get ready because we know what comes next. And yes, they want to get in, they want to build, and they want to be ready so that when regulations happen, guess what? It's not about, oh, well, now we have regulations, now we have to wait, a couple years before, they actually are built out and they're going. No, regulations happen, clarity's here, they go live. The go live is directly after regulations are in place. There's no waiting around. Like, this is going to happen immediately after. This is a huge deal. Everyone should be paying attention to that because this is that flip of the switch. Like, when everyone's talking about, oh, what's the flip of the switch? It's not some like secret button that they're going to, press or anything like that. No, the flip the switch moment is regulations going live and all of this becoming a big deal. This is when all of this comes together. This is when everything is finally in place. And just like we are seeing here around those institutions and how they're already teed up, yeah, they already are. Ripple has been working with these big names. Look at Zodiac Markets from Standard Chartered. Go back to April. We have Ripple Zodiac, April 17th, Dubai. In partnership with Ripple, we're excited to kick off Token 2049 Dubai. It's all about tokenization, regulation, and cross-border transactions. The cross-border infrastructure that Ripple has been designing and developing and building for years and years and years is already ready. And yes, it has XRP at the forefront of it. Now, also over here, we have, again, the optimism comes from regulation we've seen over the last 4 or 5 years at various points in the evolution of the ecosystem. Regulation being found out, the UAE has taken the lead. Check this out.
The optimism comes from regulation. We've seen, over the last 4 or 5 years, at various points in the evolution of this ecosystem, regulation being found out, and UAE has taken a lead in making sure that this ecosystem thrives.
And yeah, when we look at some of these areas, they're already at the forefront of the regulatory adoption. Dubai is a big one, and we have, you either have a seat at the table or you're on the menu. Adapt or die. Aside from Nick's powerful quote, the biggest takeaway is the agreement on the growing adoption of cryptocurrencies and the emergence of tangible use cases. And yes, as we look at these names, as we look at these use cases, it's now a time of, all right, what's really valuable here? What can we utilize? What can we tap into? Big shout out to Smoke Dog for this as well. We have confidential institutional investor presentation citing Ripple as B2B enterprise services and infrastructure. We are not invested in speculative coins that traders can trade. We are invested in real companies making real products. Check this out.
It's a very well-developed ecosystem at this point. There are literally thousands of real companies with real teams building real applications on this innovation and technology. And that's what we focus on. We're not investing in speculative tradable pairs, tokens, that traders can trade. We're investing in real teams using this technology to build real products and services and solutions.
And like I said, you know, it's already happening. Look at the connections. I get it, guys. Listen, I understand how important price action is. In today's society, in today's world, yes, price action, extremely important. But realize that this space is an investment. Investments take time. I understand that there's things that go crazy in this market, and you can diversify as well. But when we look at what's going on here, right, there's already major investments happening. There's already a ton of VCs here. There's already a ton of traditional financial giants. There's already big banks. They're already tied to it. They already understand it. They get it. Now it's the time of, all right, they want to go into production, and they're going to Ripple with these real use cases teed up. They're already ready. They're getting ready for the regulatory move to happen. And that's when the real flip the switch moment happens. That's when everything goes live. That's when things start to kick into overdrive. And that's when things really ramp up in terms of adoption, transactions, value exchange, volume coming on chain. Like, all of this is going to change almost overnight. I'm not going to say that it is going to change overnight, but it will seem like it, because once regulations are in place, there's no slowing down. There's no slowing down. It will be in overdrive mode. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on because more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.